Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing great. In this video, let me take you through the most important events that happened on and between 11th and 18th of July. So let's get started. Tesla CEO Elon Musk terminates deal to buy Twitter for $44 billion. Students, we all know that a few weeks ago it was made public that Elon Musk would be buying Twitter for $44 billion. Students. However, Musk has now decided to suspend the deal due to multiple breaches of the purchase agreement. So Twitter has hired top law firm to charge legal action against Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk on his decision to terminate the $44 billion takeover deal. The two parties are likely to set for a protracted, elongated court battle, according to the lawyers. Musk could also be faced with paying a $1 billion breakup fee for walking away, students. As a consequence of this, shares of the social media platform Twitter closed down 11%, and Tesla, where Musk is a CEO, fell about 6.5%. However, after the market closed and Musk's letter was published, Twitter's stock continued to decline while Tesla climbed higher. Next, students, Nokia partners with IISC to set up Networked Robotics Center of Excellence, students. So the Finnish company Nokia has partnered with the reputed Indian Institute of Science to set up the Nokia Center of Excellence in Network Robotics at IISC Bangalore, students. The Center of Excellence will promote interdisciplinary research involving robotics, advanced communication technologies, and 5G and artificial intelligence. So students, robotics and AI, these are some of the fast emerging and rapid evolving technologies that are seen as future technologies. So Nokia has partnered with IISC to promote them, and of course, to work towards 5G, students, the next generation communication network. It will also develop use cases across industrial automation, agricultural, and disaster management. So basically using these technologies for promoting social causes. About the center will facilitate engagement and cooperation between academia, startup, and industry ecosystem partners to research and develop these use cases. The research project will be undertaken by COE, and Nokia, that has been present in India since the last 22 years, has deployed all technologies that have been used for mobile communication, and now it is gearing up for commercial 5G technology. Moving on, students, father of Indian Internet BK Syngal passes away. So Brijendra K. Syngal, former chairman of Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited, passed away after a prolonged illness, students. He was 82. So BK Syngal is famously known as father of the Indian Internet, and it is because it was under his watch during his tenure at VSNL. He's the former chairman of Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited, VSNL, a major communication company, students. So it was under his watch that VSNL, or for that matter, India, launched its first internet services. Therefore, he is known as the father of Indian Internet. Unofficially, he is also known as the bulldozer for his ability to push through bureaucratic hurdles, as a result of which VSNL grew from a $125 million company in 1991 into $1.65 billion communication giant by 1998. So basically, VSNL made tremendous progress under the leadership of Brijendra K. Syngal, also known as the father of Indian Internet. Moving on, students. World Malala Day 2022 celebrated on 12th July. So International Malala Day is celebrated every year on July 12 on the occasion of young activist Malala Yousafzai's birthday, students. So Malala Yousafzai, a very famous personality. So the United Nations has designated this day to be marked as Malala Day to honor the young woman who has been advocating for female education. She's a Nobel laureate student who has been advocating for women's rights and female education in particular. And this day, the Malala Day, please keep the date in mind, students, 12th of July. there are regular questions on the important dates, students, and important events that celebrated around the year. So the day is used as an opportunity to appeal to world leaders to ensure compulsory and free education for every child. Now, what is the history and significance of the International Malala Day? So students, on July 12, 2013, then 16-year-old Pakistani activist delivered a moving speech at the headquarters of the United Nations. She highlighted the need for access to women's education globally and called the world leaders to reform their policy, students. So basically, it was on July 12, 2013 that Malala delivered a very emphatic speech at the United Nations headquarters and brought the spotlight on the female education, students, and also urged the world leaders to reform their policies related to female education. Malala has widely been appreciated for her remarkable speech, and since then, and also because July 12 was a birthday, students, since then, July 12 has been celebrated, has been marked as the International Malala Day, students. Very quickly, students, about Malala Yousafzai. So we all know she's from Pakistan, born in Mingora in Pakistan, 1997. She began advocating for women's education in 2008, students, at a tender age of 10 to 11 years. And in 2012, she was attacked by the Taliban, students. She was shot in the head by the Taliban. And Malala has been felicitated with several awards and honors. So in 2012, she was awarded the first ever National Youth Peace Prize by the Pakistan government. In 2014, she became the youngest ever recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize, students, in recognition of her efforts for children's rights, which had begun even before she was shot. And the UN declared her as the most famous teenager in the world. Malala has also been awarded honorary Canadian citizenship and became the youngest person to address the House of Commons in Canada. The documentary on the activist, He Named Me Malala, was shortlisted for the Oscars in 2015. So there could be a question that what is the documentary on the activist Malala Yousafzai? What is it called? So it is called He Named Me Malala. It also got shortlisted for the Oscar, students, and she has authored a book titled We Are Displaced, which chronicles her experiences of traveling the world and visiting refugee camp, students. So again, you could be asked, a book written by Malala, what is it titled? It is titled We Are Displaced. So few things that you need to keep in mind, students. Moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveils National Emblem on the roof of new Parliament building, students. So basically, our national emblem, so new national emblem has been launched atop the new Parliament building, and it was unveiled by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, students. Now, students, if you see the picture on the left, the aggressive lions, as you can see, so that's our new emblem, students. Contrast this with our old emblem, wherein the lions, they are different. If you see, there's a stark difference between the lions. In the picture that you see on the left, which is the new emblem, the lions seem to be aggressive, right? And in fact, there has been this huge controversy around the change, slightly modified national emblem. So according to various historians and scholars, this slightly changed emblem depict the changed posture of the the stance taken by the current government, wherein India is depicted as or for that matter, India is positioned as a country which has slightly aggressive stance, students. As opposed to this, if you see the old emblem, now, according to historians, the old emblem, it depicts peace. It conveys the message of peace, because if you see, the lions exude peace and calmness. They have a calm face, right? But the new emblem, students, here the lions seem to be very aggressive. So there could be a message being conveyed here that now the new India is an aggressive India, an India that willing to fight when required. So Students, there's another set of scholars, according to him, there's nothing of concern here, because these two emblems have been built 2,500 years apart. So there has to be, difference in craftsmanship. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he interacted with the Shramjeevis involved in the construction work of the new parliament, and it has been placed atop the new parliament building in New Delhi, students. Students, World Economic Forum's WEF's Gender Gap Report 2022, India ranks low at 135 globally, students. So India ranks 135 among a total of 146 countries in the Global Gender Gap Index 2022 of the World Economic Forum, students. So World Economic Forum releases the Global Gender Gap Report every year, students. And this year, India ranks 135 among a total of 146 countries. It is the worst performer in the world in the health and survival sub-index, where it is ranked 146, students. So last year, students, India's rank was 140. So this year it has partially, slightly improved its ranking to 135, although that could be because the number of countries that participated have actually reduced. So there are different parameters on which this index is based, students. One of them is health and survival. It is a sub-index of these rankings. So India, in terms of health and survival, which measures health expectancy, students, primarily, and the sex ratio, the gender ratio. So India has been the worst performer in the world, students. That's worrisome news, in fact, that India is the worst performer. India ranks 146 out of 146 in the health and survival sub-index. Overall, it has a rank of 135, but in the health and survival sub-index, India has been ranked 146. India also ranks poorly among its neighbors and is behind Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and Bhutan, students. And only Iran and Pakistan and Afghanistan, countries which are, are hit by terrorism and civil war. Only these countries perform worse than India in South Asia. So a very, worrisome news coming there. If we look at the 4 key dimensions, what are the 4 key dimensions or parameters on which the Global Gender Gap Index is based? So it benchmarks gender parity across 4 key dimensions, which are economic participation, students, number 1, educational attainment, health and survival, and political empowerment. So it is in these 4 areas that the gender parity is benchmarked. And it measures scores on a 0 to 100 scale, which can be interpreted as the distance covered towards parity, or the percentage of gender gap that has been closed, students. So what are the other key points of the report? So students, Iceland has retained its position as the world's most gender equal country among 146 nations, followed by Finland, Norway, New Zealand, and Sweden. So students, these are Nordic countries, leaving New Zealand out. These are Nordic countries who usually perform very well on the Human Development Index. So New Zealand, of course, is another country that is featured among the top countries. And Afghanistan is the worst performing country, and understandably so. India ranks 146 in health and survival, 143 in economic participation and opportunity, 107 in educational attainment, and 48 in political empowerment. Very important fact and figure, students. You can use them if you get a topic related to gender equality, women empowerment, gender inequality in India. You can cite these facts and figures to support your arguments during the PI, for the VAT or G. So please note them down. Now, about the Global Gender Gap Report 2022, students, it is the 16th edition of the annual publication by WEF. You could be asked that which body, which agency releases the Global Gender Gap Report? It is World Economic Forum. Please keep this in mind. The Global Gender Gap Index was first introduced by the WEF in 2006 to compare countries' gender gaps across 4 dimensions: namely economic opportunities, education, health, and political leadership. Moving on, students, Ahmedabad and Kerala feature in Time magazine's The World's Greatest Places of 2022. So students, two locations from India have been named among 50 extraordinary destinations to explore this year by Time magazine. And the southern state of Kerala and the western state of Ahmedabad, the capital city of, capital city of Gujarat, Ahmedabad, were the two Indian entries into the list of the world's greatest places of 2022. And what makes them the greatest places of 2022? Why have they been included? So Kerala is one of India's most beautiful states with spectacular beaches and lush backwaters, temples and palaces. It's known as the God's own country for good reason. And why was Ahmedabad included, students? About Ahmedabad, Time magazine said that as India's first UNESCO World Heritage City, Ahmedabad boasts both ancient landmarks and contemporary innovations that make it a mecca for cultural tourism, students. So it has cultural significance from the serene Gandhi ashram that sits on 36 acres on the banks of Sabarmati River to Navratri, a vibrant 9-day celebration billed as the longest dance festival in the world. There could be a question that which has been named as the longest dance festival in the world. It is Navratri, students. Now, World's Great Places 2022, the list also includes Ras Al Khaimah, UAE, Park City, Utah, Seoul, Great Barrier Reef, Australia, the Arctic, Valencia, Spain, Trans-Bhutan Trail, Bhutan, International Space Station, Bogota, Lower Zambezi National Park, Zambia, Istanbul, Kigali, Rwanda. According to the Time magazine, students, the world's greatest places list is combined through nominations from the international networks of correspondents and contributors with an eye towards those offering new and exciting experiences. So only those places are included that offer people new and exciting experiences. Next, students, Japan's Order of the Rising Sun Award conferred to Narayanan Kumar, students. So the government of Japan has conferred the Order of the Rising Sun Gold and Silver Star, which is a prominent, very reputed award, awarded by the Japan government. It was awarded on Sanmar Group Vice Chairman Narayanan Kumar in recognition of his contribution towards strengthening economic relations between Japan and India. Kumar was honored by the Consul General of Japan in Chennai, Taga Masayuki. So why was this honor given to Narayanan Kumar, students? Narayanan Kumar. So Masayuki lauded Kumar's dedicated efforts in promoting friendship, goodwill, and mutual understanding between Japan and India. Kumar also heads the Indo-Japan Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So he had served the Confederation of Indian Industry as its president, and he was among the Spring 2022 Imperial Decorations recipients, students. So basically, Kumar has made significant contribution towards strengthening the economic ties between India and Japan, and hence he was awarded the Order of the Rising Sun. Next, students, Singapore Open 2022, PV Sindhu wins first Super 500 title. So PV Sindhu won the first Super 500 title of her career when she defeated reigning Asian champion Wang Ziyi of China, students. And this is PV Sindhu's first 500 or better since the World Championship win in 2019. This is an important marker for the world number 7, PV Sindhu, while the rankings are still frozen, students. If we talk about the men's singles, so Anthony Sinisuka won the men's single title at the Badminton Singapore Open 2022, students. Next, Varanasi named first cultural and tourism capital of SCO. The holy city of Varanasi, students, showcasing India's culture and traditions over the ages, will be declared the first cultural and tourism capital of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So very quickly, what is Shanghai Cooperation Organization, students? So this is the Beijing headquartered Shanghai Cooperation Organization. It is an 8-member economic and security alliance comprising China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, India, and Pakistan students. So basically, this is a China-led organization, as the name suggests. It is Shanghai, which is a place in China, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. It includes 8 member students: China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, India, Pakistan. So if you see Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, these students are Central Asian country students. So basically, this is an organization of Central Asian countries. It's an alliance of Central Asian countries and China, India, and Pakistan, and Russia. The SCO is the successor to the Shanghai Five, a mutual security agreement formed in 1996 between China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan. So students, basically, initially there was this Shanghai Five, and it was formed in 1996. Since then, it has expanded to 8 state students. In fact, India and Pakistan recently joined in 2017 students. So Varanasi has been named as the first cultural and tourism capital of SCO students, right? And it is like a rotating initiative to promote people-to-people contacts and tourism among the member state students. So under this initiative, each year a city of the cultural heritage of a member country that will take over the rotating presidency of the organization will get the title to highlight its prominent students. And it is students, it will come into force after the Samarkand summit, following which India will take over the presidency and host the next heads of the state summit. So basically, this is an initiative towards promoting people-to-people ties, students, and tourism in the tourism among the member countries. Students, India's first monkeypox case reported in Kerala. So India has reported its first monkeypox, which is like something that has spread across the world. Students, about 60,000 cases have been reported across the world. And this is India's first case of monkeypox, and it has been confirmed in India after a person who had returned to Kerala from UAE developed symptoms of the disease. His samples were sent to National Virology Institute in Pune. So students, there are regular questions on important institutes and agencies. So you could be asked, where is National Virology Institute located in India? It is in Pune, students. And according to the WHO, monkeypox is a viral zoonosis, students. What is viral zoonosis? It is a virus which is transmitted to humans from animals. And it has symptoms similar to those seen in the past in smallpox patients, although it is clinically less severe. It is usually a self-limited disease with symptoms lasting 2 to 4 weeks. And about monkeypox, very quickly, students, it's a viral zoonotic disease with symptoms similar to smallpox and transmitted through close contact with another infected person or animal. And it spreads from lesions and body fluids and respiratory droplets and contaminated materials such as bedding. And the symptoms can include fever, headache, muscle ache, backache, swollen lymph, nose chills, exhaustion, and rashes, students. And as infection turns acute, red lesions will appear on the body, and the itching like chicken pox is triggered, students. And the incubation period ranges from 5 to 21 days. So that's all for this video, students. I'll see you soon with another video on current affairs. Thank you so much.